That's Victor Wembanyama spending his offseason in a Shaolin monastery. Yup, a shaved head, training sessions with monks, meditation, and practicing kung fu. To me, that's someone who's just different. Someone who's focused on his mindset, staying grounded, and exploring new perspectives. But to others, it just screams PR that feels forced. I've been following Wemby since he first went viral, and I don't buy that skepticism. So in this video, I'll break down why I think this mindset is genuine and also why it could make his ceiling basically limitless. You see, many think that Wembanyama's offseason should have been all about bouncing back physically. He dealt with a serious injury, a blood clot near his shoulder that cut his sophomore year short as it happened in February. It's a condition that can be life-threatening, so if anything, people expected him to kind of disappear and take it slow. But Wemby, he's been openly focused on his growth and stability mentally before anything else, and it actually makes a lot of sense. Think about the pressure he's lived with to this point. The guy had the world's brightest lights on him from when he was 16 years of age. I'm sure you've seen that viral video of him playing one-on-one with Rudy Gobert, which started the ever-growing hype train. All these biggest prospects since LeBron talks, French league games being streamed on NBA's YouTube channel, the record-breaking rookie year, and now a health scare that ended the careers of others. It's the kind of spotlight that could mess with anybody. But instead of chasing the noise or getting lost in it, Wemby's learning how to block it out. The guy is spending time in China, sitting in silence, meditating with monks, eating 2 meals a day, and stretching at sunrise. Now I imagine some of you might roll your eyes when you hear such words as spirituality or Buddhism in a basketball context. But honestly, it's not that crazy. Phil Jackson literally built his whole coaching philosophy around this stuff. Mindfulness, meditation, inner calm. It's what earned him the Zen Master nickname. And it wasn't just a vibe thing. It shaped the way Kobe approached pressure, how he locked in mentally, how he found peace in chaos. So when I see Wemby is going down a similar path, not copying Kobe, but carving out his own version of that, it makes a lot of sense. Especially for someone this young dealing with this much hype this early. And if the kung fu part sounds random or wacky, well, it's not really. We're talking about a 7'3" frame with almost guard agility. It's a blessing, sure, but it also is a nightmare for durability, at least in theory. The torque on his joints, the strain on his ligaments, the speed at which he moves for that size, it's all completely unprecedented. Every step Wemby takes on a basketball court is almost physics-defying, and that comes at a cost. That's why this kung fu training is actually a brilliant idea. Martial arts training builds core strength, balance, body control, and mental discipline. All things that could help someone with Wemby's frame avoid injury. Say what you will, but to me that's not performative, that's purposeful. Even if you do think it's PR, let's be honest, what message is he even selling? Discipline, balance, and inner peace? I mean, are you really gonna hate on a 21-year-old who's putting out these values as an example? Let's not forget he's also back to training now too. He resumed his on-court work in April, lifting weights, and recently welcomed fellow French big Maxime Reynaud to San Antonio to work out. So this isn't some fake off-season retreat where he does Tai Chi for a week and that's it. He's combining both worlds, spiritual clarity and basketball grind. And I think that balance he's seeking is what could set him apart long term. What's also important to highlight is that this isn't some new behavior. I've seen people acting as if Wemby is suddenly trying to be deep, but those who have followed him closely for years know that he's always been this guy. He likes to draw artwork to relax, reads fantasy novels before games, and apparently goes to Central Park in New York City to play chess in the rain with random strangers. That's just who he is. Do you remember that clip from the All-Star Game locker room this year?
You really brought a book?
Yeah, I read before every game.
That's the thing, he doesn't care if it looks weird. The guy is wired differently. So that's why, at least to me, the Shaolin monastery thing makes perfect sense. It's a continuation of the work he's put in already, sort of a way to stay grounded while the fame machine keeps spinning faster and faster. Of course, it's not like he's coming up with all these ideas on his own. Wembanyama has had one of the strongest support systems of any young player in the league. It starts with his parents. His father Felix was a track and field athlete, while his mother Elodie played and coached basketball, which also kind of meant she helped coach him when he was a kid too, and from all accounts, she wasn't easy on him. And that's part of the reason why Wemby isn't entitled or soft like some of the other prodigies. Another French NBA tower, Rudy Gobert, has also been in his corner since Wemby was 16. Gobert showed him how to stretch properly, recover between games, and manage his body as a tall athlete. Lessons that matter even more now that Wemby's in the NBA. Then you got Ian Mahimny, a French NBA veteran who has been one of his quieter behind-the-scenes mentors. He has offered steady guidance during the key transition phases, especially around the draft and Victor's early months in the league. You also got Tony Parker, who brought Wemby to Asvel when he was still a teenager. TP helped Victor understand what professionalism within a EuroLeague club actually means. And of course, there's Greg Popovich. Pop has coached legends, managed egos, and built dynasties. And now he spent his last 2 coaching years shaping the mind and habits of a 21-year-old with generational talent. Finally, Chris Paul joined the mix too. On the court, off the court, CP3 is showing him how to lead, how to prepare, and how to control the tempo of not just the game, but his career. Even his agent, Buna Njaya, is more than just a contract guy. He's been shaping Wemby's entire career strategy, what teams to trust, what opportunities to chase, and how to build a legacy beyond basketball. And that might actually be the most underrated thing about Wemby. He actually listens to his mentors. You can tell it's paying off by just watching him speak. I mean, listen to his interviews. There's none of that immaturity you sometimes see with young stars. No dumb quotes, no cliches, he's actually articulate and often quite reflective. This is where I'll address the haters. It's all PR, this is too much, he's trying too hard to be perfect. Look, I get it. Some of this presentation of himself comes across a little too polished. It's like an NBA version of a superhero origin story at some point. But here's my thing again, even if this is PR, then it's the most wholesome PR campaign we've ever seen. Like, imagine a world where the league's biggest young star is pushing book reading, meditation, and respectful interviews instead of brand deals and Instagram lives. How is that a bad thing? And honestly, the comparison to LeBron is starting to make more and more sense. Not on the court, not really yet, but off it so far. Wemby is showing that he wants to control his narrative, build his brand, and stay out of trouble. Essentially to be more than just a baller, and that's the exact blueprint LeBron followed. He came into the league with insane expectations and somehow lived up to all of them while staying scandal-free. That's really rare. And believe me, that's not just talent, that's discipline and awareness. Compare that to some of Wemby's peers. Ja Morant had a string of off-court issues that kept dragging him back into headlines. There's compilations of LaMelo Ball's reckless driving. Anthony Edwards is deep into some personal drama regarding 4 children with 4 different women, while Zion Williamson literally had a porn star airing out his private text on Twitter. These are some of the league's brightest young names, and somehow they keep getting caught in mess after mess. Meanwhile, Wemby's not just avoiding controversy, but he's actively building something better. But here's what I love most about all of this. It's not even about being better than his peers. It's about knowing who he is and what he needs. He knows his body is fragile, so he works on balance, flexibility, core control, and long-term health. He also knows the fame can get overwhelming, so he meditates, reads, tries to stay grounded. Finally, he knows pressure is coming, so he's already building the tools to handle that pressure. And that's why I think his potential is truly unlimited. Anyhow, let me know what you think. Do you see Shaolin Wembanyama as something genuine or more as a PR stunt? What do you think about his mentality overall? Will he go far with it? Drop those thoughts in the comments below. Also, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more NBA takes through an overseas lens.